In the heart of East Asia lies one of the world's most mysterious and isolated nations, North Korea. Officially known as the Democratic People's Republic of Korea. For over 7 decades, it has been ruled by a single family dynasty, shaping the country's path through war, famine, economic collapse, and nuclear ambition. This is the full story of North Korea, from Kim Il-sung to Kim Jong Il to Kim Jong Un. How the regime rose, how it survives, and why the world continues to watch it so closely. The birth of Korea's division. For centuries, Korea existed as a unified kingdom. But everything changed in the early 20th century, when Japan annexed Korea in 1910, ruling it as a colony with harsh force. Resistance movements formed, and among them was a young guerrilla fighter named Kim Il-sung. When World War II ended in 1945, Japan surrendered. Korea expected independence, but instead, the peninsula was split along the 38th parallel. The Soviet Union occupied the north, and the United States occupied the south. The division was meant to be temporary, but it soon hardened into 2 separate states. The rise of Kim Il-sung. Backed by the Soviets, Kim Il-sung, only 33 years old, was chosen to lead the new northern government. In 1948, he declared the founding of the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, becoming its first premier. From the beginning, Kim Il-sung built a personality cult. Posters, songs, and textbooks portrayed him as the heroic liberator of Korea. He eliminated political rivals and centralized power, preparing for the next major chapter in Korean history, the war. The Korean War, 1950 to 1953. On June 25, 1950, North Korean forces, with Stalin's approval, invaded South Korea in an attempt to unify the peninsula under communist rule. The attack triggered a devastating conflict. The United States and United Nations defended the South. China eventually entered the war on the North's side. Cities were destroyed, millions died, and Korea became one of the most heavily bombed places in history. After 3 brutal years, an armistice was signed in 1953, establishing the Demilitarized Zone, or DMZ, which still divides the 2 Koreas today. No peace treaty was ever signed, meaning the war has technically never ended. The war strengthened Kim Il-sung's grip on power. He rebuilt the nation using Soviet aid and established a fully centralized command economy, building a closed state. Juche ideology. During the 1960s and 70s, Kim Il-sung developed his state philosophy, Juche, meaning self-reliance. It emphasized political independence, economic independence, and military strength. North Korea grew into one of the world's most controlled societies, with strict surveillance, rationed food, state-controlled media, and no political freedom. Prison camps, known as Kwanlee-so, were created to punish dissent, sometimes for entire families. By the 1980s, Kim Il-sung's image was everywhere. Statues, portraits, songs, and even a calendar beginning with his birth year, called the Juche calendar. The transition to Kim Jong Il, an unprecedented move for a communist state. Kim Il-sung prepared his son, Kim Jong Il, to succeed him. By the early 1990s, Kim Jong Il controlled the military and the Workers' Party. When Kim Il-sung died in 1994, North Korea entered a period of uncertainty. For many citizens, Kim Il-sung was the only leader they had ever known. He was declared eternal president, and the state continued to worship him even after his death. Kim Jong Il officially took power, inheriting not only a nation, but a crisis. The arduous march, famine, and isolation. The mid-1990s are remembered as one of the darkest periods in North Korean history. After the collapse of the Soviet Union, the country lost its biggest trading partner and energy supplier. Floods, crop failures, and economic mismanagement pushed the nation into a deadly famine known as the Arduous March. Between 1994 and 1998, an estimated hundreds of thousands to over 2 million people died of starvation. During the famine, Kim Jong Il introduced the Songun, or military first policy, placing the army at the center of national life. Resources favored the military, while ordinary citizens struggled to survive. North Korea became increasingly isolated. Nuclear ambition. Throughout the 2000s, Kim Jong Il focused on developing nuclear weapons. North Korea withdrew from the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty and conducted its first nuclear test in 2006, followed by more tests in 2009. These actions led to severe international sanctions, pushing the economy further into hardship. Yet, nuclear nuclear weapons became the regime's main guarantee of survival, providing leverage in negotiations. As Kim Jong Il's health declined, the world prepared for another transition of power: the rise of Kim Jong Un. When Kim Jong Il died in December 2011, his young and relatively unknown son, Kim Jong Un, became the third ruler of North Korea. Kim Jong Un quickly consolidated power, removing high-ranking officials, including his own uncle, Jang Song-taek, who was executed in 2013. In 2017, North Korea conducted its most powerful nuclear test and developed long-range missiles capable of reaching the United States. However, Kim Jong-un also attempted diplomacy. In 2018 and 2019, he met with South Korea's President Moon Jae-in and U.S. President Donald Trump. Though historic, these meetings did not lead to lasting agreements. Modern North Korea, a closed nation. Today, North Korea remains one of the most secretive countries on Earth. Its borders are tightly controlled, information is heavily restricted, and the regime continues to pursue military and nuclear development. Economic sanctions, limited trade, and strict state control shape daily life. While Pyongyang showcases modern buildings and parades, much of the country struggles with poverty and limited access to basic services. Despite these challenges, the government promotes loyalty to the ruling Kim family, maintaining control through propaganda, surveillance, and isolation. From Kim Il-sung's revolutionary beginnings to Kim Jong-il's era of famine and nuclear ambition to Kim Jong-un's unpredictable leadership, North Korea's story is one of resilience, isolation, and strict authoritarian rule. As the Korean War remains technically unfinished and the nuclear issue unresolved, the nation continues to shape global politics. Understanding its history is key to understanding its future. Thank you for watching The Full Story of North Korea 4K documentary. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more documentaries.